Greetings everyone. Before I begin this video, let me tell you about 2 training programs that I will be doing starting in a few months. Beginning in September, I will be co-facilitating a 10-month program with Christina Lee based on our book, From Trauma to Freedom. The training program will be the Arch Life Coach Training Program, a trauma-informed approach. And it's guiding you in how you can become a life coach, helping others to heal and to find their path and purpose in life. The second program that I'll be doing will start in October and go through June. And that will be a shamanic astrology program about the age of Aquarius and how we can integrate the energies of the earth and sky to move through this profound time of transformation and move into higher states of consciousness. Feel free to find out more details about both of these programs through my website, risingmoonhealingcenter.com. Thank you. Today I want to talk more about the powerful Uranus-Saturn square that we're in all of 2021. This square went exact in February of this year, again in June, and it will complete its final exact square in December of 2021. So this year is very much shaped by the energy of that transiting square. Uranus is in Taurus, Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius. I want to talk more about what that means to be in the intensity of this square as we're moving towards a new Saturn-Uranus cycle beginning in 2032. This particular cycle that we're in started in February of 1988 and will go for a little over 44 years and until it completes its cycle and begins a new one in June of 2032. So we're in the 3rd quarter square. We're in the final phase of that profound cycle of Uranus and Saturn. And remember, Uranus and Saturn, in their movement together, are about Uranus. What is it we're needing to set ourselves free from to move in new directions? And Saturn, how do we bring that into form in our lives and on the Earth plane? Remember, Uranus is that planet that is outside of our visible experience of the planet. Saturn is on that threshold between visible and invisible reality, and Uranus is the next planet out. And Uranus is our connection to divine mind, our connection to cosmic consciousness. Uranus is guiding us to have clarity, to see what is unfolding, to tune into our intuition and inner guidance, to be open to the changes that we need to make, to let go of what no longer serves us and move into new ways of being. And Saturn, when we're working with it at that higher level of consciousness, then helps us bring that cosmic consciousness into form, manifest it in our lives and in our world. And it supports us in then co-creating systems and structures that reflect that alignment with cosmic consciousness. So we're in a profound time of transition with those energies right now. And we're all feeling it. And we're all also feeling the intensity of the energies with Pluto as it's moving through its final degrees of the sign of Capricorn before it moves fully into Aquarius at the end of 2024. So we're feeling the intensity of that Pluto energy, particularly intensely right now. And I do believe that Pluto, in these final degrees of Capricorn, is about the alchemical process that we're in, individually and collectively, to burn away the structures and systems of the past that are out of balance, that need to die in order for new forms to emerge that are more just and equitable and fair and in balance. But we're experiencing the polarization on the planet right now between those of us who feel these energies and are moving with these energies and are awakening and are moving into heightened states of consciousness and creativity and preparing to move into these new forms individually and collectively. And we're also feeling the backlash to that, the intensification of a process where some are trying to cling to the paradigms of the past and to resist this profound transformation that we're in. So we feel that struggle in the collective consciousness, and we see it manifesting in the turmoil in the world right now. So I want to talk about how we can navigate this intense time and how to understand at a deeper level what this Uranus-Saturn square is all about. Remember, as we move through that cycle with Uranus and Saturn, the conjunction, that initial beginning of this 44-year journey, is showing us the seeds, the intention of the journey. And as I talked about in my previous video, in February of 1988, Uranus and Saturn were conjunct at 29 degrees of Sagittarius, meaning they were in exact alignment with the galactic center. Think about how profound it is that the sky guides us in these clear images. Uranus conjunct Saturn, right in alignment with the galactic center, is saying the intention of this journey is to call us back into connection with Source, is to help us align with that deeper knowing and that consciousness of the cosmos, so that we are breaking free from any way that we're out of alignment, out of balance, to again, Saturn, manifest forms that are truly in alignment with Source and in alignment with our true selves. The first square with Uranus and Saturn is known as the crisis in action. That's the part of the journey where we are trying to assess, how do we put the intentions of this cycle into form? What decisions do we make? It's a time of making choices and taking action and beginning to bring that energy into form. Then when we come to the time of the opposition between Uranus and Saturn, it's a time of gaining greater clarity about this journey and how we can manifest it in our lives. And that occurred in 2009, shortly before that profound time of the ending of the precessional cycle and the beginning of a new one in 2012. So I do believe that opposition of Uranus and Saturn was guiding us into preparing to be opening to this new age and this new precessional cycle. The third quarter square is known as the crisis in consciousness. What does that mean? The crisis in consciousness is the realization we're now 3/4 of the way through this journey. We're preparing to let go of this cycle as we're moving towards the new cycle beginning in 2032. So this third quarter square is the time where we're assessing, what have we learned from this journey? What are we meant to integrate? How does that shape our consciousness? How does that help us look at our beliefs and how we are viewing our lives and the world in this energy of aligning with Source? So the third quarter square is the time where we're integrating the wisdom of the journey, preparing to let go of this journey to move into the next cycle. So it's a time of distilling the wisdom that we need to integrate, to honor as we prepare to embark on this next cycle. We begin that new journey with Uranus and Saturn in June of 2032. I think that year will be a profound year in many ways. In a future video, I want to talk about these energies that we're going to be in from now through 2032. But remember that time where Pluto moves fully into Aquarius at the end of 2024, I believe marks our crossing that threshold into the age of Aquarius. And then about 7 years later, we move into this new Uranus-Saturn cycle. So remember the one that began in 1988, just after the harmonic convergence in 1987. Uranus and Saturn were conjunct the galactic center. In 2032, Uranus and Saturn will be conjunct in the sky, beginning their new journey exactly above the upraised arm of Orion. That is such a powerful and profound placement in the sky. I've talked about this before, and I want to talk about it more deeply to guide us in understanding, what does this mean? What are we moving towards as we prepare for that new journey? In order to fully understand, or understand more deeply, the meaning of that placement of Saturn and Uranus in the upraised arm of Orion, let me briefly take you through the story of the deeper meaning of the constellation Orion, which is associated in Egyptian mythology with the story of Isis, Osiris, and Horus. So take a moment as I tell the story. Feel free to close your eyes, go into a meditative place. Feel this story resonate in you. We carry the cellular memories of the meaning of this story on so many levels in our lives, collectively and individually. The story of Isis and Osiris and Horus begins with Isis. Isis is an ancient goddess dating back at least to 3000 BC, most likely earlier than that. Isis was known as the great mother goddess, the creator of all that is, the one who holds the unity of creation, a goddess of love who helps to birth us and then helps us transition at the time of death. She is the goddess of life, death, rebirth, holding us through those cycles of evolution and change. Isis in ancient Egypt ruled with her brother Osiris, as was common among Egyptian pharaohs. They were partners together in life, in love, in ruling ancient Egypt. And they were benevolent, wise, beloved leaders who taught the people how to grow their crops, how to live their lives in balance. They held the community in truth and love and equity and compassion. About 28 years into their rule, and think about how 28 is often associated with the Saturn cycle, their brother Set was incredibly jealous of the power that Osiris, his brother, had in relationship with the people. He desperately wanted that power for himself. Set was motivated by greed and jealousy and a longing for power. Think about this in terms of some of the patterns we're seeing in our world in this time. So Set conspired with 72 conspirators to create this beautiful wooden box that would be gifted to whoever could fit perfectly in the box if they laid down in it. So there was this great event where he displayed this amazing wooden ornate chest. And one by one, people would try to lie in it to see if they would be the winner of this amazing prize. Finally, Osiris gets into it. And of course, Set had perfectly designed it to match Osiris's form. And as soon as Osiris laid down in the box, Set and his conspirators slammed it shut, took the box, and threw it into the Nile, letting it go out to sea. Isis, bereft at the loss of her beloved partner and husband, searched far and wide until she finally found the box lodged against a tree in a foreign land. And through a series of events, she's able to reclaim it and bring it home. And she opens the chest and she lays on her the body of her beloved husband. And she transforms into a bird, a kite, and circles and flies around the dead body of her beloved. And she breathes the breath of life into him. And with her wings, she revives him. And he returns to life. And together, they come together and make love. And she becomes impregnated with Horus, their son. She then lays Osiris in the reeds to keep him protected, to keep him safe from Set. But Set goes out hunting and discovers the body of Osiris, who was revived and now is dead, and Isis is trying to prepare him for an honorable funeral and burial. Set, in his rage and jealousy, is completely angered that she has recovered the body of Osiris. So he chops the body into 14 pieces and scatters them everywhere. And Isis, discovering that this has happened, again sets out to find every piece of her beloved. And she's able to find and reclaim 13 pieces, but she's missing one. So she molds that part of Osiris out of clay to bring him into wholeness again. And then she helps him transition to become the Lord of the underworld and to transition to his death in an honorable way. Then, as Horus grows up, he takes on Set and battles with him, and finally is victorious over him and reclaims his father's place of leadership over Egypt. And again is able to bring that love and wisdom of his father and his mother to the people and bring them back into balance and harmony. When we look at the stars of Orion in the sky, we are seeing Osiris. And the brightest star in our sky that is very close to Orion, Sirius, represents Isis. And I do believe that Sirius is our binary star, that our sun and our solar system move in a dance with Sirius. She is the one who guides us in our journey as a solar system and who reminds us of the wisdom and love of the cosmos. So when we look at those stars of Orion, we see Osiris, the god who died and was reborn, teaching us that cycle of life, death, rebirth. But I also believe, as is very true in ancient Egypt, images become overlaid on each other, that when we look at Orion, we're also seeing Horus, the father who is renewed and reborn in his son. And Horus represents that integration of Isis, the great goddess, who holds our lives in that energy of love and wisdom, and his father, Osiris, who sought to live in alignment with Source and with the energies of the cosmos. So Horus represents the awakened one. Horus represents who we become when we are in alignment with the galactic center, when we awaken and remember the consciousness that we are capable of as we attune to the energies of the earth and sky. So when we see Uranus and Saturn conjunct in the upraised arm of Orion, I truly believe the energies in the sky are saying, this is the resurrection moment. This is the time, the opportunity for your rebirth individually and your rebirth as humanity into a new consciousness, into the golden age, into that memory and re-experience and co-creation of what it means to be in alignment with Source, to be in balance and in harmony, to come back into right relationship with each other, to be in right relationship with the earth. We are in such a profound time where these planets are saying, align with Source. And as you work through that journey to manifest that alignment in your actions, in your inner clarity, in your consciousness, then you are being prepared to be born anew, to become the beings, the light beings of consciousness and love, and to co-create a new world that is in balance and is in harmony. Set so represents the ways in which, as humanity, we can get out of balance and get caught in those lower levels of consciousness that are about greed, fear, anger, jealousy, lust for power, ego. And we're being guided as we're in this final square with Uranus and Saturn to let go of those forms of consciousness, to let go of those patterns of greed, corruption, exploitation, violence towards each other, abuse of the earth. We're being guided to heal. Isis so represents that love and wisdom of the cosmos, and that love that will find us wherever we get lost, wounded, traumatized. She will reclaim us, restore us, heal us, revive us, resurrect us. The energies of the cosmos are so in tune with the energies of Mother Earth, who are holding us in this time of transformation, who understand the deeper, profound journey of awakening that we're all in. And as we attune to those energies of the earth and sky, they will support us through this time of death, rebirth. So how do we navigate this? Let me just speak more practically about how the energies of the planets right now are supporting us in that. Uranus in Taurus. In this time of confusion, in this time of polarization and turmoil, where it's hard to know what's true, what to believe, what's misinformation, what's really guiding us, Uranus in Taurus is saying, find the truth within. Uranus is about reclaiming your own sovereignty. Do not give your power away. Do not look for external authorities to give you that sense of security or to tell you what's true, what's real. Uranus in Taurus is saying, listen to your inner guidance, align with Source. You will be guided through your own inner knowing, through listening to your heart and your soul. And Uranus in Taurus is also saying you will know what's true if it is in alignment with natural law and the ways of the earth. Taurus. Is what you're contemplating or the way that you're living in alignment with the harmony and balance of the energies of the earth and the cosmos? Or is it in disharmony? Does it lead to disconnection? Does it lead to destruction? Then it's not in truth. Uranus in Taurus, does it generate life? And does it bring you an increased sense of freedom? Uranus. Or does it lead to a sense of constriction, loss of empowerment, and increasing fear? That's a warning signal that you're not in alignment with truth. Saturn in Aquarius then is guiding us to set ourselves free with that Uranian energy, to listen to our inner knowing and our guidance, to be in alignment with the energies of the earth and sky and bring that into form in ways that we are coming back into balance, balancing the energies of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine, and honoring what it means to be in right relationship within ourselves, with each other, with the earth. So look at the patterns in your life and the patterns that you see in the collective. Are they manifestations of these Aquarian paradigms that we're moving into? Or are they resisting those new forms and clinging to those out of balance patterns of the past, which are about power over, greed, corruption, destruction of each other and of the earth? Those are the energies of Set, not of Horus. Neptune right now is in Pisces. And what's beautiful about that energy is Neptune is helping us to realize we are held in the love and compassion of the cosmos. When we can find that alignment with Source, we can rest in the currents of the cosmos and of this profound time of change and be carried into the new forms, the new ways of being. It is like the child, the infant in the birth canal. The infant is not needing to fight her way out. He is not needing to know what the destination is. The infant is being guided by those rhythms of life and of transformation, and we are as well. And Jupiter is also now in Pisces, saying, let your beliefs, Jupiter, be in alignment with trust and that unity consciousness of the cosmos. Trust. We are being held, we are being carried, we are being guided. So in this time of tumult, remember that the energy of the third quarter square is also about letting go. We are honoring what we're releasing. We are honoring the grief, the confusion, the tumult, the uncertainty of being in this transition time. So feel all that you feel and honor the intensity of your experience of this time. But come back into alignment with Source and that knowing that you and we are held by the currents of the love and wisdom of the cosmos. Isis is holding us, healing us, guiding us through this death rebirth process. And Horus is showing us how to bring that into form and to know that we can be resurrected and revived like Osiris, that we, like Horus, can come into the fullness of that consciousness that is about the upraised arm of Orion is pointing towards the galactic center. It is about awakening to that higher consciousness that allows us to remember who we are as galactic beings, co-creators of our world and our lives with the energies of cosmic consciousness and Mother Earth. May we support each other as we navigate these intense times, and may we remember the guidance of the earth and sky, leading us through this profound time of change. Blessed be.